it's fake with a fake and it's all bullshit and you've been lied to. Could you imagine if there's a class action lawsuit for this? And listen, I know it sounds cringe and it's Kumas and whatever and it's sex freaks. I get that. I get that, okay? But you've got to understand that this is actually something that matters because we're talking about, like, consumer rights at the end of the day, okay? I've got a bit of a homosexual tendency there. I like rosé. I like a nice fruity rosé, generally speaking. So that's what I prefer. So Twitch have always had a policy where you can wear a bikini. You can't wear lingerie on stream. You can't wear like a brassiere, knickers that is in panties. And that's what we call it over here. And stuff like that, okay? But you can wear a bikini in a contextually appropriate situation, such as if you're at the beach or if you're at like a hot tub or something like that. But when Twitch wrote those rules, the idea was that you were at a literal hot tub in like a hotel or something like that, or you're at a beach or your swimming pool or whatever, right? That was the original intent. And in fairness to the eGirls, okay, they put their brains together. They put their little noggins together. Well, I don't know. I think Amouranth maybe started this trend. But in any case, there was this kind of like meta that arose because what they realized is there was a bit of a loophole because as long as you were in a contextually appropriate setting, you're allowed to wear a bikini. So they bought a hot tub, a inflatable hot tub, put it in their garage or, you know, out the back, wherever they wanted to put it, like some room in their house, right? Filled it up. And then you're in a contextually appropriate setting to wear a bikini. So you're good to go. You can stream in a bikini, in a hot tub, from the comfort of your own home, okay? So it was always originally a loophole that, you know, Twitch had not considered. They'd not considered the tenacity and business acumen of the eGirls, okay? So they figured this out, and then they started the hot tub meta. Now, off the back of the hot tub meta, there was controversy because there was no hot tub category at the time. It was just chatting. So people were like, hang on a minute, you've got these people streaming in just chatting, doing quasi-porn streams, and they're doing it through this loophole, right? And at the time, a lot of the content was like, not just like streaming from a hot tub, there was a lot more kind of like sexualized content that was happening as well. So Twitch had to find a way to like not crush women because that would look bad for them, but also like retain their policy when it comes to like sexual content. So the balance was that they kind of like tightened up the rules around sexual content and they created a new pools hot tub category to make it easier for people to say if they didn't want to watch that so it didn't appear in their feed, right? And that really kind of rectified the issue. Obviously, there's still controversy and issue and people discuss it and don't like it or whatever. But at the time, you know, that broke the back of the main fundamental issue that people were having and we moved forward with the new situation, right? But then you got stuff like this. Now, again, stuff like this is technically allowed, okay? But it's like literally by the skin of your teeth. It's literally by the skin of your teeth that it's allowed, right? That is like just inside the line. That is like the line's here and you're like right up against it in terms of like the rules. But yeah, obviously, you know, look, not to defend eGirls too much because I know what my community's like, but from their perspective, that is also a very dangerous game that they're playing too, because one slip, and that's like a 3 or maybe even like a 7-day ban, possibly. Like one slip up and it's all over for at least probably a week. One slip and you're fucked, and not in a good way. So look, you know, I've got to be honest with you, okay? I think that the fact they found a loophole in order to, you know, create a whole new avenue of content is good. my concern with it always was, well, look, we've all got to adhere to certain rules, even rules that we think are stupid. Okay, even rules that we think are stupid, we all have to adhere to them, and it sucks for all of us, right? And it was annoying at times where it felt like there were some people who were just blatantly taking the piss, and were doing like quasi chatterbait style streams, and nothing was really happening. So that's why Twitch, admittedly, they probably came down on the side of the soy more than anything else, but they did their best to try and find a solution that kind of pleased everyone. And obviously, Twitch have got a financial interest from two angles, because on the one hand, they want to make sure that they don't miss out on the support that's coming from that particular stream, the subs, the ad revenue, etc. But then on the other, if the content gets too sexual, that's going to make advertisers get cold feet and potentially not want to continue working with Twitch, because they generally have a tolerance for a certain amount of sexual content. But when it reaches a certain point, like a big AAA advertiser is not going to not going to want to run ads next to some woman that is doing some sexual shit on stream. And I think this is the issue that Amouranth had at one point. I'm pretty sure that this is like a custom thing, obviously, for her, but I think they stopped running ads on her channel. I think they stopped running ads on her channel for a period of time, until at such a time as it was a bit more appropriate or something like that. But I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time. And then obviously, we covered this the other day, but there was the Amouranth Indie Fox situation where there's this message that's come out that seems to suggest that Indie Fox was trying to destroy Amouranth, and that was a big thing at the time. It was like this war of attrition of who could do the most sexual content without getting banned. Think of the children. This stuff should be nowhere near Twitch. The problem you've got, though, is there's always going to be content that is going to maybe be not quite appropriate for kids on Twitch. So where do we draw the line? And I think it's okay to have some stuff as long as it's moderated well and not just a free-for-all. Oh, there we go. There we go. See? Look at that. One of Twitch's products has to cut off advertising revenue, even though she's not broken any rules. That is giga cope, man. That is giga cope. Like, she was constantly putting content out, which was maybe not breaking the rules explicitly, but she was going right up to it and bending them to absolute maximum. I mean, there's an argument even that she did break the rules, but... Oh... There is also a problem with Twitch. I think it's gotten better, but basically Twitch have gone on this big campaign. This is why you see so many ads now. Twitch have gone on this campaign to try and increase the amount of ads and ad revenue they bring in. So I think that they're working on ways and means with which to improve the way that ads are delivered, and even maybe get to a point where advertisers can say if there's certain types of content they don't want to be associated with, they can put a blacklist on that for that particular advertiser. But this stuff takes ages to build. But Twitch are very interested in improving the experience when it comes to ads for all parties involved. But yeah, I mean, this was at a time when it was insane. Look, there's lots you can criticize Twitch for, but I think if you've got a streamer that is pushing the boundaries of the sexual content rules, it's not totally unreasonable that Twitch are going to be like, okay, we need to cut off ads until we can figure out what the fuck is going on. Oh. Anyway, we went off on a bit of a tangent about the eGirl hot tub meta. I thought Amouranth was only pushing sexual boundaries because of a partner. Yeah, curious that, isn't it? The funny thing about that, right, is I remember she actually replied to my video when I covered it. Because initially, I got it wrong. I was wrong about it. I was more, believing of Amouranth's perspective because I'm an idiot, okay, sometimes. But then I think that afterwards, particularly when it did just kind of die out and nothing happened, and then she went back Well, the thing is I'm not, I don't have a problem with saying if I think an e-girl has done something wrong. I've done it many times. But in this particular case, I got caught out by the fake tears of hate. I can't remember what clip I watched either, but I think, yeah, I don't know. I fucked up. It is what it is. But looking back now, obviously, it's quite clear that. Anyway, the point I was going to make is I did another video where I spoke about it again and spoke about some of my skepticism, etc. And yeah, she replied to the video, and the response was like, "It's very simple. I'm deciding to do it now rather than my husband." And it's like, but if you're deciding to do exactly the same thing you were doing before, also to the same, I believe, amount of hours as well, it's like, functionally, how is that meaningfully different, from like an outsider's perspective? Like, yeah, from your perspective, maybe in your head, to be generous, you're thinking whatever about it, but do you know what I mean? Like, why make a big public deal out of it then? Just know in your own head and in yourself, hey, I'm happier doing this in my own self now and whatever. But instead, it became a big but short public spectacle that dissipated without any further conversation or discussion. And yeah, it does seem like it was a very publicity-driven angle. And then obviously we've had further coverage of Amouranth where there's obviously the kind of misleading advertising, dishonest advertising that she does around her OnlyFans stuff, which we've got to thank that Kuma guy on Reddit for uncovering that. So yeah. And I think, a lot of the stuff around this operates on embarrassment. Imagine, I know it's difficult because we live in the modern age, right? Imagine you went to buy a pornography magazine from a store, you got it home and opened it, and half of the pages were ripped out. Okay? What would you do? What would you do with that? I know there's probably some giga chads that would just, immediately and shamelessly walk into the store and demand a refund. Thank you for the sub. But most people are going to be like, oh, God. Bit awkward, but, there's not really much I can do about it, and we'll chuck it in the bin, right? Yeah, you call it a loss. You just call it a loss. That's annoying, but, it's a bit embarrassing to go back, right? That's what, like, the vast majority of people are going to start a class action lawsuit. So it operates on the same principle, right? You pay $30 for a video that's titled hardcore, real blowjob, real cock blowjob, whatever the case, whatever it is, right? And you're like, oh, this is someone that I think is very attractive that is doing an actual real blowjob. Let's watch it, okay? You watch it and you realize it's not a real blozzer, okay? It's fake with a fake dick and it's all bullshit and you've been lied to, essentially, in the advertising, right? Okay? And you paid money for that. There's some people out there that are just going to take the hit and are just going to be like, yeah, that's just lost money as far as I'm concerned. It was only that Kuma dude on Reddit who actually went a step further and got a refund from OnlyFans for complaining about it, Most people aren't going to go through that sort of action. So it means that people can continue these dishonest marketing strategies around their content, and they're never really going to be meaningfully called out or criticized or pulled up on it, because who wants to go online and say, I tried to buy a video of what I thought was someone sucking someone else's penis and it turned out to be a dildo. Literally the most shameful thing you could say, and you're going to get mocked and shamed for it, So it offers like a level of, the shame offers a level of protection. So, it's not exactly the same, obviously. It's not exactly the same. But, think about like schemes where women will pretend to, be a prostitute or something like that, and then they'll steal all the guy's money. The guy's not going to do anything about it, is he? He's just going to be like, oh, well, like, bit embarrassing to come to the wife with that, isn't it? So, yeah, I just think that, this operates on the premise of shame, preventing people from coming forward to speak out about. I think if you were to take this to like you know, what is it? Federal Trading Commission? Is that what deals with adverts in the US? It's like trading standards or the advertising authority in the UK. But if you were to take this to like a body and say, look, this is what I was offered and this is what was delivered as a product, okay, I'm pretty sure, as crazy as it sounds, the FTC would look at the ad, look at the product and go, that isn't actually what was advertised. I don't know how the process works, but they must have a way of, you know, determining if the product matches the advert. So, you know, I think it's just operating on this premise that people aren't generally going to do that. Could you imagine if there's a class action lawsuit for this? Imagine, you know, 100 people that look like this marching into the courtroom. Marching into the courtroom. One handful of you-know-what, the other handful of, you know, fake adverts. I just want for these types of people that buy these products, I want a good, honest video for a good, honest advert. That's it. That's all I'm saying, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's it. There's loads of stuff. There's loads of stuff that happens. I think even in that guy's post he was talking about this. But there's this thing where they'll like basically present something that looks like it's got a lot of content, but it's like, you know, a 10-second video or something like that, you know? And it's not made clear exactly what you're getting. So you will purchase it and then you get it and it's like, this is shit, you know? And the thing is, here's the problem. Here's the problem. OnlyFans could fix this if they wanted to. OnlyFans could easily fix this, right? They could put in place measures or rules or something, or put in place some sort of system whereby you could at least, you know, have more visibility of what it is you're getting without giving you the full content, obviously. But they don't want to do that because obviously that might, they're incentivized not to do that because, you know, a horny guy purchasing a shitty video to OnlyFans, that's still money at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what the product is. To them, it's fucking money in their pocket, isn't it? So I just think there's a big problem with this industry where there isn't transparency. There is dishonest marketing and advertising happening left, right, and center. Do you know what I mean? And I just, yeah, the week, I mean, it operate, right? Oh, that's exactly it. I made sure I label my content no nudity. Well, that's good. And I think there's some, look, with all, you know, respect to like women, there are some out there that do it correctly and are like, you know, I've seen adverts that are like fucking, they're like this long. And it's saying like, okay, it doesn't show this, it doesn't show this, it shows this. Like, it gives you a very clear description of what you're getting for your money. And that's like the right way to do it, you know? And listen, I know it sounds cringe and it's Kumas and whatever and it's fucking sex freaks. I get that. Okay? But you've got to understand that this is actually something that matters because we're talking about like consumer rights at the end of the day, okay? And it's just kind of sad that, you know, and the thing is you might laugh at the Kumas or whatever, but who's benefiting from this? Who's in it, apart from OnlyFans, which I've already pointed out, who's benefiting from this dynamic and this system? Okay? It's not Kumas, is it? Because they're fucking spending money and not getting what they're expecting. They're not getting what they want. It's the fucking eGirl OnlyFans types that are dishonest. They're the ones that are truly benefiting from this alongside OnlyFans. But they're the ones that are raking in the cash off of that process. You know, and they're... And to me, it's like, you don't obviously have to suck a dick if you don't want to. Right? Obviously. No one has to do anything they don't want to do for money. But at the end of the day, okay, if you're not going to suck a dick, don't say that you are and dishonestly present it and then give someone you gobbling on a dildo. Like that's it. Or say this is simulated in the advert. Make it very clear. Make it very explicit. You know, this is a simulated fake blowjob or whatever. Explain what it is. Like I say, it's not as if that isn't done anywhere. Like some OnlyFans people do that and they've got like fucking lengthy descriptions of what you're getting. And presumably, like, these are ones that are like, you know, in the top X%. Like they must be doing, they're probably doing fine by doing that. Well, I think OnlyFans kind of accepted its fate when they tried to pull back from the sexual content and realized, oh shit, that's actually going to fuck us up massively. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it's very cringe and very embarrassing for these people. But I honestly just think it is a consumer rights thing, and I don't know. Someone needs to take up the cause to push this forward, I think. Should it be said somewhere on Pornhub when it's not really the pool guy banging the estate agent? But okay, I mean, I know you're probably memeing, right? I know you're probably memeing. But obviously, it's not about the stories, okay? It's about the content. And the thing is with Pornhub too, is obviously the content is, it's ad supported, right? It's free. Like you don't have to pay anything to access it. So you type in a video, 6-man deluxe gangbang or something, and there's only 5 guys there, and you're like, I wanted 6. Well, just go to the next video. No harm, no foul at the end of the day. But if you type in, or if you find an advert that's like, and the thing is, it's not even like that. It's not like you're getting 5 men. It's like you're getting none, and the woman is pretending to fuck 6 guys. Like, imagine if you... I'm going to look at some gangbang videos, and the woman's there with a bunch of fake dildo. You'd be like, what? That's unbelievable. But you've not paid anything, so you just move on anyway. Anyway, that's my take on the on what Lav, I guess. We started there and got so wow. That's Lav's whole life, isn't it? Starting on something else and coming back around to OnlyFans. That's basically a summary of Lav's entire life. But yeah, there we go. We'll move on to the next incredibly amazing, great piece of drama that I've got lined up for you all. Kumas have had enough. When the Kumas versus Ethot war finally comes, we will all shudder in laughter, but shudder nonetheless. Does anyone still use Pornhub after they need 80% of their content? Pornography is sinful for starters. I remember, oh my God, I remember that happened. And there was a vast outcry, wasn't there? Do you remember? People were fuming about it. People were fuming. But like apparently, like they had to do it. They had to do it because there was like illegal content on there because people were able to just upload stuff without any verification process. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the problem. Okay, to defend the Kumas a bit, I think that there was content on there that wasn't illegal, that was just happened to be uploaded by an anonymous account that got wiped. But then, look at it from Pornhub's perspective, right? Either you lose your payment processing shit, or you press a button and nuke a bunch of content and keep the payment processors. Oh yeah, copyright too. There was probably a bunch of copyright violations. They were probably at risk of losing like safe harbor because they weren't dealing adequately with copyright. If there was lots coming in, sure, there could have been a bunch of problems that way, right? The trouble is it all fucking tacks onto each other, doesn't it? Pornhub's getting pressure from the payment processors. The payment processors are getting pressure from press coverage. The press coverage is coming about as a result of the discourse around it, right? And above them all, puppeteering it all, controlling everything. You think MasterCard and Visa care what the press says? Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've given like a chain mainly to just do the what. But, I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe it's not the press coverage. I don't know. What were they concerned about? What is it they were bothered about exactly? Visa and MasterCard said they would investigate their financial links to MindGeek after the New York Times columnist reported the website. I mean, unless I'm missing something, it does seem like it was because of press coverage that they were, basically the press were like, oh, look, Pornhub's got this on it. I mean, do Visa and MasterCard have like a moral consideration? Like I'm sure that Visa would process payments from ISIS, if they could optically get away with it in some way, But obviously optics is everything in these circumstances. So, yeah, I mean, they shouldn't. But they're going to. That's the nature of the world, isn't it? That's why Andrew Tate got fucking wiped off every platform all at once, because there was that reporting that I think initiated from Hope Not Hate. They get pressured by governments. Okay, yeah, no, that's true. Okay, yeah, sure. But yeah, I just, companies are going to respond to pressures, both legislative and media, and public perception, right? Now that's how these big companies operate. Big companies don't want to fucking be in some controversy where there's like, some naked kiddie and underneath it's Visa payment for shit. Like, obviously, they're going to be like, if that gets out there, screenshots or like that, people are going, what the fuck? Looks like we're supporting that. What? No.